What do we do on the bylaws?
Well, I suppose we'll just have to table it.
We don't have anybody.
I would want Jack or
Okay.
Well, these present.
Frank to be here
Okay.
and discuss with them.
On new business, we do have some new business.
Okay, let's hear it, Dick.
We had a, work on the engine on fire truck 109. New water pump, gaskets, clutch, pressure plate throughout bearings, spark plugs, 2 tubes of gasket sealer, 3 caps using paint, set of ignition wires, 2 foot of heater hose, and 2 clamps, $339.81. We need that on an emergency basis.
Move. Second.
Declare emergency.
We need to, we've already got.
We've made a motion, I mean, an emergency.
Okay, let's put that in mind. Okay. Have to have two separate. Separate one, two. I move that we declare this need fire truck an emergency. I second. Aye.
2, 3, 4,
Aye.
5.
Aye. Now I move that we accept this bill, and we'll pay this bill as presented us by the city manager on an emergency basis for the fire truck.
Second.
339, whatever.
81.
81. Aye. 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 Thank you.
Don't you guys want to do it?
Yeah, well, they do it over there.
Yeah, we got another unfinished business.
Mr. Mayor, pursuant to the council's instructions, I talked with the representatives of the Chickasaw Nation concerning this, the bingo problem. Another one of those major problems that arise. The bingo games, and the representative of Chickasaw Nation came over and took their time to come over and talk to me about it. They indicated they'd cut back to 2 nights a week bingo, and but the council needs to understand that the state statute provides that bingo licensing will be limited to charitable organizations or non-profit organizations. The Chickasaw Nation, I believe they will admit that they don't qualify, they don't feel like they qualify, so they can't, in my opinion, probably obtain a state license. I think they admit that. I asked them to come down here and talk to the council because to bring the council to date, there is a lawsuit pending. It does not involve the Chickasaw Nation, but it does involve another Indian tribe, where they're taking the position that their so-called bingo games are on tribal property and therefore not subject to state and city regulation. Whether that's true or not, I don't know. Whether the court will ultimately hold that, I don't know. But I told them that that's a decision I couldn't make. It's up to this council as to whether the council desires to wait for that decision or to enforce the law and tell them to cut out bingo since they don't have a license. And if they don't cut out bingo without a license, then the city police would be, I suppose, authorized to go down and shut them down and fine them according to the statute. They are here, and I asked them to come, hoping that they would talk to the council and you all can make your decision.
Are they a party to that suit?
No, they're not a party to the lawsuit.
Would you like to?
If I've misstated anything, you correct it.
Thanks, Bill, and thanks for inviting us down to your council meeting. Our objectives at the Chickasaw Nation is to, of course, to reach self-sufficiency. And we're doing our level best to do that. We are a nonprofit organization, and it's not really by design, it just happens it works out that way. If we are interested in the health, education, and welfare of the Chickasaw people. And in order, we can't go out and we can't go out and tax. You can tax, we can't tax. Our people are all taxed to death now. They can't pay any more taxes. So in order for us to take care of the health, education, welfare of the Chickasaw people, we're operating several enterprises. And one is the Motor Inn right here in Sulphur. The bingo is a very small part of the Motor Inn operation. We're interested in filling those rooms and selling food while we still have a little bingo game over there. We call it, it's nothing more than a recreation game over here. But we are placing the Chickasaw property in trust with the U.S. government. Now there is a law pending now. The Creeks have been sued just out of Tulsa, about half a mile down the street from Oral Roberts. They had a large bingo game there. It will seat like 1,000 people. They're being sued. The state shut their game down. They got an injunction, opened it right back up. They're playing bingo right now in that facility. And then the outcome of this of the suit is pending. This is going back to the year 1842 when they have sued and countersued. We don't want that. We don't want any problem at all. Now we want to live in Sulphur. And I think we're probably pretty good neighbors. We're trying to be good neighbors, and we're trying to be better neighbors all the time. And that doesn't mean that we're maybe not better neighbors sometimes than the people that we live with. So we don't want any problem with our game. As a matter of fact, we did. We discussed this with Phil, and we arbitrarily shut our game off from 3 nights a week to 2 nights a week. We could have gone on and tried this thing at that time. We didn't see fit to do so. But we're not saying now, by us trying to be nice doesn't mean that, don't take us as being completely weak. And don't take us as, we may, when we go into trust, we may play 3 nights a week. We may play 5 nights a week when we go in trust with the United States of America. But at this time, we're sticking strictly with the 2 nights a week. We don't violate the federal, no federal law that we violate. We didn't see fit to go for the bottle club. We sell beer over there. And we don't have any intention of playing 3 nights a week at least until we get in trust with the United States of America. At that time, a decision will be made with the Chickasaw tribe, the executive branch, and at that time, you'll know about it. Now, that doesn't mean that we might not someday sell liquor by the drink over at the Motor Inn. I'm not saying we're going to do this, but I think it would be, as soon as I leave, I tell you we're not going to do it, and then someone comes and does it, then you're going to say, well, that guy said they wasn't going to do it and all this. I'm not going to say we're not going to do it, or attempt to do it. But that will be a decision to be made by the Chickasaw executive branch. But today, we're just sort of loafing along and losing money on every corner, trying to get along.
Did you buy the $50, did the city have a $50 license?
It's a state license. The city doesn't have any license, there is no provision, it's a state law altogether. They have to technically, to abide by the law, they have to apply heirs to the state and obtain a license. And I think the Chickasaws will agree that even though they may not be making any money, they're not strictly speaking a charitable or non-profit organization, and they probably couldn't get a license. I think they've even, I believe you told me maybe that they've tried once before.
To get a bingo license?
Yeah.
If we want to comply, we don't comply with the state law on the license. And this goes back to 1842. There's all kinds of cases and trials and more cases and trials from 1842 clear up to now. And then there's the one that's pending that will set the precedent for all of them is the one between the Creek Nation and Tulsa and the state of Oklahoma. and it's in district court now.
You mentioned you were interested in health, welfare, and something else with the Indian
Education.
education. Don't you participate in the national level in the benefits for health, welfare, and education? National?
I don't understand what you mean.
Well, we have certain health, welfare, and education benefits for all of our citizens.
Sure.
We even have a bureau to handle that. So
Sure.
Your people don't participate in
Oh,
that?
sure, and if there are scholarships and things of this sort on a competitive basis, sure, they compete for that. Yes. But in addition to that, we go further than that. We can't go much further. Our budgets, we run on a budget. And our budgets this year were cut 11%. And they're going to be cut again next year. We're positive on that. And we're trying to take up this slack. As a matter of fact, we're just building our first trading post. We're going to build a Chickasaw trading post over here at Davis. You're acquainted with the old Texaco station at Davis? We bought that property, and we bought the adjacent property, and we have 2 acres there. And we're building our first Chickasaw roundhouse trading post there. It will be a 7-Eleven type or a Love type. It'll be convenient items. We'll sell craft items. We'll sell gasoline and diesel, and we will sell beverages, picnic items, and it'll be a round building, and it'll be the decoration will be the roof will be a Chickasaw seal blue, and this is trading post number 1. We have on our drawing board 5 trading posts between now and the year 1995 to 2000. Yes, sir.
So, the thing that bothers me, I would be for a nation, I suppose, because that's what it is, basically. But when are you precluded from paying state taxes at your stations, your outposts, your trading posts?
We don't want to, but we may have to pay on our, you're talking about diesel gasoline?
Well, yeah, why would that, I mean, what's to stop me from going up? You'll obviously put in cigarettes, beer, whiskey.
No, we won't sell whiskey.
Won't sell whiskey.
We'll
sell
sell
beer, you'll sell diesel, and you'll sell gasoline to whoever can come down that Interstate 35 and get over and get it.
That's right.
Okay, what's that little boy across the street that's selling the same thing from you over there? Except his has a tax added on to it.
Okay, there'll be very selective items, very few items that we can, even if we show desire to, and we may choose to.
Well, you referred to, and I don't want to get into a deal with, but you referred to being a good neighbor.
Yes.
And of course, we feel like, I sell prescriptions,
Okay.
My front end things, which you're going to have over there too, I pay, 6%,
Sure.
city and state tax. If you're going to be my competitor,
Sure.
Obviously sanctioned by the state because you couldn't be in there unless they, let you be.
Okay.
But if you're going to sell aspirin over there for $1.06,
I'm in compliance where we don't have room for the people down here to have these things happen.
Well, another thing, we're sworn to uphold the state law. There's some question of whether you're violating or you aren't violating. If you are, we intend to do it. And we're just simply postponing until we get something done here. Yeah, Chief?
Now, the state Supreme Court has already made that decision against the Creek Nation, and they decided that this is not, it is Indian land, but it is not.
In the case of bingo?
The case is already decided in the state Supreme Court, and they have given it over to
In the case of
federal
bingo?
government.
Well, we always lose in the state. The Indian tribe
But
never
that
wanted to
means
lose
it's
in the
state
state.
law.
Yeah, we realize that to be so that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we are
Yeah.
honoring the injunction Creeks have.
We understand that.
Okay, so, well, we got, I got
Ward
to
1,
Aye.
Ward 2,
Okay, thank you.
Ward 3, Ward 4, Ward 5.
thanks, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Short. Well, I just say this.
No, we're not doing anything yet.